So today we are going to continue from where we left, and today we are going to solve more numericals. We'll try to also understand that okay, how to progress in solving the dy dx as rate measure. To solve question of a dy dx as rate measure, the first step is always choose the reference and try to represent the distance from the reference. The reference should not change. Okay. So imagine this question. This is again a famous question of kinematics and maths both. So there is a lamp post and the light is coming out of the lamp post. And the height of the lamp post from the ground is capital H. And there is a man which is walking. The man is walking, and the velocity of the man is given to us as v. Okay. Now, if you are moving like this, do you expect the shadow concept? How the shadow will be formed? Can you guess? So light ray cannot go on the other side, right? From here, if the light ray is coming this way, it will never go on the other side, isn't it? So you can say this light is blocked, correct?
Yes.
So anything above the light, I mean above the man head, man's head, the light can go on the other side. So we can say on a limiting case, this is the part which will be devoid of the light. Can you see that?
Yes,
So
sir.
this is the part which is having no light. And what we call this dark part? What we call?
Shadow.
Shadow. So you can understand that as the man will walk, the shadow will be also following the man. And tell me, as the man will progress forward, what do you think about the shadow length? Will it increase or decrease or remain same? On a very next moment, the shadow length will increase or decrease.
Sir, increase.
Very good. That's correct. So you all are able to understand the shadow length? The shadow length will grow. See, the man height is going to be fixed, right? So even after some time, man will be, let's say man is here of same height. And to draw the shadow, you have to draw the light ray like this. And you can see clearly that the shadow has gone too far. So this is called the the tip of the shadow. So at an instant when the man is some distance away, let's call it x, what will be the velocity of tip of the shadow? Find the velocity of tip of shadow. How to proceed? The tip of the shadow is another point on the x-axis. Can we say this?
Yes, sir.
And what is the suitable reference that we must take? The suitable reference will be the origin. Why? Because as the man will move, the origin will not shift. Origin is there. So you can see that, okay, we have a datum or reference. So the first idea that we need to understand is called datum or reference. So the datum or the reference is fixed. What is given to us? The height of the man is given to us. The height of the lamp post is given to us. And what we are supposed to find? The velocity of the tip of the shadow. That's called V dash. So what do you think? How to proceed? Like what kind of, first of all, to proceed, you have to assume some variable from the reference. So the tip of the shadow is how far from the reference? Do we know? But we don't know. So let's assume some value. So let's call the distance from the datum to the tip, because the tip is at unknown location. We need to choose some reference value. Let's call it y. Now tell me what is given to us. At what rate the x is changing? The dx or dt we can write as? Can you guess? What is dx or dt given here? The rate at which the man is moving is dx by dt, isn't it? Because x is the distance of the man from the reference. So as the man will walk, the x will change. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So in time dt, in time, let's say the man is here. In time dt, how much man will move? Dx, can we say? So if you give elementary time interval dt, the man can only walk dx. And what is the velocity of the man? It is v. So can we write the dx equals to v dt? Distance equals to speed into time interval. Can we write yes or no?
Yes.
So what is dx by dt representing?
Velocity.
The velocity of the man. Tell me guys, yes or no?
Yes.
And what we are looking
Yes, sir.
for? What we are looking for? The velocity of the tip. And the tip means what? dy by. So we are in search of dy by dt. We know dx by dt. So when you know one thing, and if you don't know other thing, the only effort is, can we relate using some geometry, trigonometry, or any mathematics? Can we? Do you know similar triangle idea? Similar triangle. What is similar triangle? A triangle in which two angles are equal, right? So if you look carefully, this is forming a similar triangle like this. So you can see a small triangle, you can see a big triangle. You know this height, you know this height. You know this is x and this is entirely y. So if I say this is theta, what is tan theta in the small triangle? Tan theta in the small triangle is how much, guys? Tell me.
H by y minus x.
But the same tan theta in the big triangle is how much?
H by y.
H by y, very good. So now, because capital H, small h are known to us, and we know the x rate of change of x. Can we relate this quantity and we can write y in terms of x? So yh equals to hy minus hx. This implies, can we write h minus h minus h into y is capital Hx, right? So y is how much? Capital H upon capital H minus small h into x. So once you get the relationship, the next step is what? Differentiate both sides of the equation 1. Differentiate both sides of equation 1 with respect to time. So what will we get on the LHS? dy by dt, right guys?
Yes.
And on the RHS, we can clearly see this term is constant, so we have only dx by. And because dx by dt is known, so we can say dy by dt is also known. So we got the answer. So we got the answer that dy by dt, which is I am calling v dash, is equals to h upon h minus h into v. This is how we find the relationship. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
So can you do it on your own without looking at the answer? Everyone, solve it and tell me whether you are getting the answer or not. Draw the triangle, the values given, and tell me the answer. Do it.
Answer.
Got the same answer? Okay.
Yes.
So how many of you like flying kites? No one. Very bad. So none of you like flying kites? So let's say we have a hypothetical, this is like a cylindrical reel of thread. And from this thread, we have the, what we call the thread, the manja, right? And we have a kite here. So you can see the kite. Okay. And how the kite is moving? This kite is moving away in the horizontal direction at a constant speed v. So after some time, what will happen? This manja will be something like this. Then again, after some time, it will be something like this. So what you can see that the length of the rope which is in the air is increasing at certain rate, isn't it?
Yes.
So by virtue of motion of this kite in the horizontal direction, keeping the height constant, we are keeping the h fixed. And if I take this length as L, what is changing here? L, H, or X? What is changing here? Tell me.
Sir, L is changing.
Very good.
And
L is
X.
changing. And X. Correct. So it is clear that L is changing, X is changing. Okay. So we have taken the suitable variables the way we wanted. Okay. The question is, okay. So keeping H constant, if I keep H constant, can you tell me what is the dl by dt? Find. And what V represents? Anybody can tell me what V represents?
Sir, X.
V represents the rate of change of X, isn't it? So very good. V is representing dx by dt. How many of you are able to understand this? V is representing dx by dt? Everyone? Okay, good. Prasansa, you're not getting it?
No, sir. Can you explain that?
See, first of all, you need to understand when the kite is moving towards the right, right is what? X-axis. So the X coordinate of the kite will grow in value, yes or no?
Yes.
The X coordinate. So what is the coordinate of this kite is? X comma H, and here H is constant, right? So as the kite will go towards the right at a given speed, the distance, the X coordinate will increase from the origin, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, anyway, if the speed is V, in time dt, how much will travel? The speed is representing X direction velocity. So Vx is V. So in time dt, interval, tell me guys, what will be the dx, the X traveled? Distance equals to, what formula we have to use? Distance equals to
V into D.
is speed into time, which is dt. How many of you realize this? The dx is v dt. Everyone? Very good. Now you got it?
Yes, sir.
Prasansa, tell me.
Yes, sir.
So see, when you are at X location, in time dt, you will only travel dx ahead. What is dx? A small displacement, a small distance, when your velocity is known in that direction as v. So dx is v dt, so we can clearly see dx by dt is how much? It is v. Yes or no? Is this clear, guys? So now the question is, can we find dl by dt knowing all these values? Can we? Tell me, guys. Can we find dl by dt? So to find dl by dt, what you need to do is you need to relate things, right? So which relation is present between all these three quantities? Any mathematical relation you are able to see?
L square equals x square plus h square.
Excellent. So now you know the Pythagoras. The moment you see the right angle, that should come to your mind. Very good. So L square is how much? So no matter how you move, this relation is always there. So this is called the constraint relation. I always talk about constraint. Constraint means what you cannot change. You can change L, you can change X, but H you cannot change. So anyway, these are related to each other. Now, because you know the constraint and you want to know the rate of change, what you can do next? What is the logical step to do next?
Differentiate
With respect to
time.
time, not X. So can you differentiate this with respect to X and tell me what you're getting? Use the chain rule or chain rule. So if you differentiate with respect to time, both sides, on the LHS, what you will like? D by dt of which number, which value? On the RHS, we have to add d by dt of x square. And h is the constant quantity. So if you differentiate any constant, what will you get?
0.
And you know the chain rule, how to make it, because we do not want L square, we want L. So what we can do here, we can apply the chain rule. And now please, you all have to tell me, because we have been doing this for a while. So I expect you guys to know this answer. So how to write this further?
dl square by dl into dl by dt.
Very good. So what is the answer then? If you write the way you said,
2l into dl by dt.
excellent. And similarly, you can do it on the RHS also. Yes or no? So what will do here?
2x into dx by dt.
Wow, excellent. So now you're getting the idea. Everyone is agreed with what she said,
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
but this should come to you. I mean, now you can add 2L dl by dt, and dl by dt is something which we're looking for. And this is 2x dx by dt. And now the dl by dt, what we are looking for, we can express as x by L into dx by dt, which is given to us v. So given the x and L, can we find v dl by dt? So given the
Yes.
x value, so they will mention that at this instant this is x, and so and so. So that's nice. What is x by L, by the way, in terms of angle? At that instant, if I call this angle as theta, what is x by L? X by L is how much?
Cos theta.
Very good. So we can write as v cos theta. Yes or no, guys? Tell me.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
See, what you're learning is physics. Rest is chapters are of no use. Chapters are given for convenience. It doesn't mean that we need to learn chapter-wise concept. No, chapters are just, it is there and so that you can practice question. But physics is having predefined, you can say, conventions. Everything is well defined. The technique, the mathematical ability that we need to develop. And once you know these things, you can apply there and get the answer. So we got dal by dt is v cos theta. You know, we could have done this directly. Can you guess how? Look at this carefully. I could have extended this line, and this angle will be how much? Tell me.
Theta.
So velocity will have two components, one along the thread, another perpendicular to thread. Is this clear? So in time dt, the V cos theta will pull the thread by how much? DL length. So if you look at the direction of L in time dt, look at this carefully. This is a really powerful method. In time dt, the L will grow by L plus DL. So we can add DL equals to V cos theta into dt. Yes or no? The L will have this direction. So it will grow at what rate? At what rate the L will grow? The answer is V cos theta is the rate at which the length of the thread will grow with time. Is this clear, guys? Hello, hello, hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Do you realize this? And that is why we could have done this question in one line. Method 2. And this will be a really powerful method when you solve the laws of motion question, laws of motion chapter. You will see that, okay, these ideas are really powerful. The other thing is, in the same time dt, something unique will happen. The thread will also turn by some angle. Can we say this as d theta? And the angle will decrease, right? So I can say this is minus d theta. Why? Because d theta is a negative number. So to make it positive, I can write minus d theta. So in time dt, how much will travel in this direction? What is this displacement? Can you guess? If I call this as the ds, can you guys tell me what is ds? Anyone? How to write ds, guys? Tell me. It's a very small angle. So ds is how much? What is the velocity in the normal direction to the L vector?
V sin theta.
So in time dt, how much will travel?
V sin theta t.
Dt. Right?
Yes.
In time dt, we are talking about time dt. And now you can also imagine this as an arc of a circle because it's a really small. So from the arc of a circle, we know the angle's relationship with the arc length. So what is the relationship between arc length? What is angle equals to? Theta equals to? Theta equals to, guys, tell me. Arc length by radius. None of you remember, right? Very good. In a circle, and we have been doing this for a while. What is the relationship between arc length and radius? Theta equals to? Come on, guys. What is theta?
L by R.
Arc length upon radius.
So what is the arc length here? What we are trying to solve? What is the arc length here?
ts.
Exactly. And what is the length here? Radius here, radius. What is the radius, guys?
L.
Very good. So you can see something really interesting. The d theta we can add as ds by L. And what is the ds here? The ds itself is, we have got ds here, right? Can we write ds as v sin theta dt?
Yes, sir.
And you can see this is a beautiful relation coming here. At what rate angle is changing? Answer is minus v sin theta by L. And the minus is representing that as the kite will move, angle will diminish, isn't it? And that's logical. Hello, guys.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Do you realize these methods? Okay, how to deal with elementary motion? So what we're doing here is we are only dealing with dt, because when you deal something for dt, it looks simple. So they might have asked you this question: find d theta by dt. Okay. Now the other question is, can we do it alternatively, the way we did the first question? Let's say I want to find d theta by dt, but in a not in this fashion, in a different fashion. So if you look at the original question, not what we solved, if you look at the original question, what was known to us? Which rate of change was known to us in the original problem? In the original problem, what was given to us in the problem itself? Which rate of change was known?
dx by dt.
Very good. So dx by dt was known to us, and what we're looking for? D theta
dy
by
DL by D.
no, we are looking for now d. Now the next question is, what is d theta by dt? This is what I'm looking for. And here one thing is constant. What is constant? What is constant here? If you remember,
h.
very good. So now, if you know trigonometry, I want a theta relation, and I will look for those variables which can give me a very meaningful answer. So theta must be related to x and h. Yes or no? Theta must be related to x and h.
Yes.
So what relation exists between h and x and theta?
Tan theta.
Very good. So the rule is simple, because you know the suitable or meaningful relationship between the variables. So I will write tan theta equals to how much? Tan theta equals to,
h by x.
so you can write x equals to h tan theta, sorry, h cot theta. So I can write h cot theta. And because I know dx by dt, so I'll differentiate both sides. H is constant. What is the differentiation of cot theta? And by the way, we do not want cot theta differentiation. What we're looking for, theta differentiation. So what we can do next? What is the logical way of moving forward? To write this term as, tell me guys, d cot theta upon what we should write here,
D theta.
and then into, and why we are doing this? Because we want this answer. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That is the thing which you need to answer. We are looking for this answer. And anyone who remember the differentiation of cot theta?
Minus cosec square theta.
Very good. And we are done. So what we are getting is d theta by dt equals to minus v sine square theta by h. Now you may say that, sir, no, your answer is different from this answer. No, this is same answer. In this answer, what we have is L. What we have here is H. You can always convert. What is the relationship between L, theta, and H? Which relation, guys? Tell me. Theta, L, H. Which one? What is it?
Sine theta.
Excellent. So sine theta we can write as what?
H by L.
H by L. So we are done. So if you know that we can write like this, so the H we can replace by L sine theta, and therefore the d theta by dt, because I do not want the answer, let's say in terms of H, although we should want, but nevertheless, if you do not want, replace H as L sine theta, and you can see it is exactly matching the answer. Imagine the same question we can do in one line, almost mentally, or you can do it by constant, which is slightly bigger. If you know how to play with elementary, and it is very easy to play, how to play? Always talk about dt and see the changes. Okay. Is this clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Imagine this question. Our new question is similar to the previous, but for you guys to practice, I'm making a small change. You know what is the change? Now I have a parachute. Ignore the dimension of the parachute. Oh, it looks like a chef hat. Huh? So now this parachute is, moving upward. So the velocity which I gave earlier horizontal, if I change this answer to vertical, and it is constant. So what is variable here? So again, it's the same thing. We have a real here. Let's say we have a thread connected. Now here D is constant. So what will change here? I can say L will change as well as Y will change from reference. Let's say the horizontal line is the reference. So now I have just changed the situation. Now horizontal has become a vertical, vertical has become a horizontal. Y will change, L will change. Yes or no? Correct. The only thing constant is D. So can you tell me what is dy by dt? Oh, that's given. Can you tell me dl by dt? Oh, you need to find it. Can you tell me d theta by dt? These three things can you tell me? And you're free to choose the way you want. So go ahead and tell me now. Tell me, guys. You can play with the elementary idea if you want. So first you do by the constraint, and then try to do it by the elementary motion, dy, dx, d theta, whatever. So are you guys going to do it or give a good try to this question? Or shall I solve? So no one wants to solve, right?
But
Sir, I'll give it a try.
Anybody else wants to try this question?
yes, sir.
Raise
Yes,
your
sir.
hand. Those who don't want to solve, raise your hand. Anyone who do not want to solve? No. So all wants to solve. Very good. Please attempt this sincerely and make sure that you get the answer. No matter how much time it takes, I am there. I'll wait for it.
Done, sir.
Very good. So the first part, dy dt is how much? This is given to us, right?
V.
So what is dl by dt?
V sin theta.
Oh, it's because this one. Yes. Very good. And what is d theta by dt? And sin theta we can write as y by L, so can also write y by L. There are many ways of writing. And what is d theta by
Sir,
dt?
V cos square theta by D.
It is v cos theta. Okay, you can do like this. If I draw a line like this, at right angle to this line, the green line, correct? So this angle is how much? Theta only, isn't it? Can you see
So we
that
can also
angle?
say V cos theta by L.
Yeah, so you can say v cos theta by L is d theta. Yeah, correct. So v cos theta into dt is your d theta. So d theta we can write as angle equals to arc length upon radius. And therefore, what you said is absolutely correct. It is v cos theta by L. Who said this answer? I think everyone. Is this your answer?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So can you explain the d theta by dt by other method?
Yeah, of course. So first of all, you need to find the relationship between the theta and the values which you know. So which are the variables we should take to make a suitable relationship of theta and other? Should we go with L and Y or Y and D? Here L is variable or constant? What is L here? Is it variable? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Variable.
It
variable.
is variable. Yeah, of course. And because it is variable, so it's not a good idea to take three variables at once. So theta is a variable. I must relate theta with something which is constant and other something which is variable. I can only take two variable at a time. So theta should go with which variable? Y,
D
L,
and
D,
y.
D and Y. So what is the relationship between theta, Y and D? Which
Tan theta.
trigonometric? Right? So no tan theta. So you write tan theta equals to right now. Tan theta equals to
Y by L.
Y by
Sorry, d. Y by d.
D. So Y equals to
D tan theta.
what is the next step? Because you want rate of change, no? So what will do next?
Differentiate both sides.
With respect to what? You will differentiate both sides with respect to
Y.
time. You want rate.
Yes,
You will
sir. Sorry, tan.
differentiate time. So can you apply the chain rule, whatever rule you know, and differentiate, because D is constant, so you can take it out. And the rest you can differentiate. Tell me what is the differentiation coming. Tell me everyone. In physics, elementary is the basis of solving tougher questions. So whenever you come across some challenging question, the way to move forward is always take elementary steps and see how the changes are happening and try to correlate it. Okay, tell me. Done?
Yes, sir.
Differentiation is done.
So is it v by d cos square theta?
Yeah, that could be possible. Yeah, so that is the right answer. Let me just rewrite just to confirm what you are saying is correct. So
So it should be v cos square theta by d.
yeah, that may be. Let me just check. So what you said, y equals to d tan theta, right? So if I differentiate the dy by dt, the d is constant. D by dt of tan theta. Now tan theta I cannot differentiate with time. So what I'll do? I'll use the chain rule, isn't it? But dy by dt is given to us, no? So what you did next? Tell me, person. What you did next after this step?
So d tan theta by d theta into d theta by dt,
And what is the differentiation of tan theta?
sec square theta.
So you got it. Sec square theta into d theta by d. So what we're looking for is d theta by dt, and we are getting the answer v upon d, and it will become.
Cos square theta. Yeah.
That's correct answer. If you want to write in terms of L, then you can replace, because we know sine theta equals to y by L. I want answer in terms of d and L. Okay. So cos theta equals to d by L. So I can write d as L cos theta, because I do not want d, so I'm going to replace it. You can express your answer the way you want. So you can clearly see the answer is v cos theta by L. Same answer, guys. I hope so. Yeah. So elementary is something that we will practice a lot. Don't worry, I'll give you a lot of questions today. We are going to master this idea, because without this, no one can master physics at least. So imagine a situation. There is a thin pole. You know pole? Of course you know. A pole is fixed between two rigid support, as you can see. Okay. And we have a small ring which is passing through the pole. So you can see a ring which is passing through the pole, right? And the ring is free to move, but anyway, there is a thread connecting the ring. And this thread is passing over a pulley. There is something called pulley. Imagine pulley is fixed. On the other side of the pulley, the same string is holding a mass, a block. You can call it what the way you want. And at a given instant, this angle is theta. Okay. So if the block is having velocity, let's call v, at that instant, what is the velocity of the ring? Or simply saying, what is the relationship between v1 and v2? Do it by the elementary idea. What is the relationship between v1 and v2? You can solve the way you want. I'll show you 2, 3, 4, 5 methods to solve this question. So first you attempt, you are just simply supposed to relate the two. And if you think about the dt, it's really interesting. In the dt, what is happening, if you can draw and realize, it's really powerful. So think about it. Or you can do it mentally also. You can just say the answer.
Sir, here nothing is constant, no?
Yeah, that's why here at that instant only we have to relate. At when the angle is given theta, at an instant angle is given theta. So what is the relationship between v1 and v2 in terms of theta? So what I'll do is I'll draw a small, diagram. You can take this as hint and solve the question. You can just draw something like this. So after time dt, the tip of this the ring will move here somewhere. Always draw a better diagram. You can always get the right answer. So the new diagram will look like this. I'm just doing parallel to this. And because the length has shortened in the topmost part, the bottom will fall like this. Can you guess? Understand this part? As the ring will move forward, the block will fall downward. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So the question is how much it can come downward in time dt. I can clearly say this is v2 dt. Correct? And v2 dt is nothing but the distance that has shrunken from the top. So if I draw a line like this, look this carefully. You can see clearly this part is now lesser. So you have gone down by this value. What is this length? In time dt, how much a ring will travel?
V1 dt.
So what is the length on this side? Can you see this length? Because this is a right angle triangle, right? So how much is this length, guys? Tell me. In this
V1
right,
dt cos theta.
very good. So the length of the pink string part, above that in the topmost part, the upper part has gone forward, but the length of the string has shrunken by v1 dt cos theta, and exactly the same length must fall downward because we don't have the extra length. The length of the string is, what is the constant here? Length of string must be constant. Can we change the length? Yes or no? The answer is no, we cannot change the length. So what will happen? If one will move, other has to move to keep the length same. So what is the relationship here? What is the relationship here? Now see, this part, when you draw a perpendicular like this, then this part and this part will have same length. So this is like an arc of a circle. And so this length remains same. Understood? So what is the answer now? Which relationship will hold here?
V1 dt cos theta is equal to V2 dt.
So v1 dt cos theta is v2 dt, which is simply as simple as v1 cos theta equals to v2. And that is also logical that as the ring will move forward, the component it will try to, the length of the string it will try to change is only this component. v1 cos theta will try to move the string downward. So here v2 is how much? v2 is v1 cos theta. How many of you are able to understand this? Anyone? Just two. Oh, great. Very good. So all have understood. Now this is the basis of a chapter called Newton's laws of motion. When you go to that chapter, you have to play with the relationship that how one block will move, then how the motions are connected with each other. It is clear? By the way, can you tell me what is d theta by dt? That's very interesting. What is d theta by dt? Because as it will move, theta will change, right? So what is d theta by d? Who will tell? If this is theta angle, after some time, this is theta plus d theta. And from the property of triangle, we all know what you all know. The exterior, if you look at that triangle A, B, C. In triangle ABC, theta plus d theta is which angle? Exterior angle, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And from triangle property, the exterior angle is equals to, guys, exterior angle is how much? The sum of far to interior angle, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So basically, this must be how much? Let's call d alpha. So can we write theta plus d alpha must be theta plus d theta? Exterior angle property, if you remember from triangle. Those who are not aware, in any triangle, if we have alpha, beta, and gamma, so this angle is always alpha plus beta. This is how much? Alpha plus gamma. This is how much? Beta plus gamma. It is clear? I hope so. This is clear. So what we can see here, d alpha is how much? D alpha itself is this. So finding d alpha is sufficient. And what is d alpha? Anyone can guess? D alpha is how much? Theta equals to L by R. So d alpha is, what is arc length here in that arc that which I have drawn? What is the arc length, guys? Can you guess? So you know V1 dt. Can you find the arc length? Hello, hello. What is arc length? Okay, this is the arc length. The A, B. Let's see that. The BD is arc length. Yes or no? And
Yes,
what
sir.
is the BD? What is the BD value? BD is how much? BD is how much? If V1 dt cos theta is below 1, so the front will be sin theta. In any
Yes, sir.
triangle, if you know the hypotenuse, if you know the angle, the base will be h cos theta and the perpendicular will be h sin theta, right? Always remember this. So if you know V1 dt, the base is V1 dt cos theta, then the perpendicular will be how much, guys?
V1 dt sin theta.
How many of you are able to realize this? Raise your hand. Only one. Two, three. All are clear? So now because we know V1 BD, which is like a arc length. So d theta and d alpha. So d alpha we can write as arc length upon radius. Now radius should be given, right? As of now, it's not given. Okay, so this, let's say this length as of now, just take as L. We can find it later on. Generally, they will give you this value. The gap between the pole and the pulley. This is given generally as, let's call B. So anyway, we can find a radius as L, and we can write also L in terms of B, right? So what is the relationship between L, B, theta? L, B, theta?
Sin theta.
Very
B
good.
by
So
L.
sin theta is B by L. So I can write L equals to B cosec theta. Now BD I will write as V1 dt sin theta, and the L we can write as B cosec theta, and you can now see clearly what you can see. D theta by dt is how much? V1 sine square theta by b. Is this clear, guys? How many of you are able to understand this? This is challenging problem, not easy. Challenging. And not at all easy. I won't say this is easy. But if you guys can understand up to this level, I'm sure that you are going to rock the IIT-JEE exams. At this stage, very few students comprehend this level of difficulty. Very few. I would say just 0.5% in the entire country preparing for JEE. You are in class 11th. Just pass the class 10th. What you're learning is the most deepest part of the physics. So if you are able to understand, it's really good. I'm really glad. If you're not able to understand, don't worry. I mean, you will understand with time. This is something which takes some time to realize and kind of embed in your learning process. But anyway, I just wanted to know like anyone who has understood this. So how many of you have understood this part? Raise your hand. Oh, cool. All have understood. Okay, then I must appreciate myself because you are able to understand. Okay, so what we'll do is, because we have learned something, we'll try to capitalize the same and try to do one more question. I'll reduce the variable so that you can put some more effort and get the answer. So the next question is, so we again have a poll. So don't worry that you are studying physics only. Don't think that okay, sir has not started physics. I'm still teaching mathematics. If you have this apprehension in the mind, just remove that apprehension. You are very much learning physics and you're learning the toughest part of physics. So again, we have the same story. The bangle is here. We have a pulley attached. Pulley is something like a round shaped cylindrical object. You can imagine that way. And it is fixed. So we'll see a lot of pulley in the chapter of laws of motion. In fact, you have seen all this thing in, I think, vector itself, isn't it? We have seen something like this. Maybe. So the pulley is like a datum because pulley is fixed. Anything which is fixed, we can take as a datum. Let's call this as B. And the only thing given to us is that the block is going down with you. Someone is pulling, some person is pulling the blocks downward with a constant velocity v. Can you guys tell me what is the velocity of the ring? Find V ring. And also find d alpha by dt. You can, if you want, you can change into theta if you like theta very much. So I want these two answers as of now. Tell me, or just do it.
So
Yes, tell me.
I got d alpha by dt.
Okay.
It is v by x, like I took that vertical distance between the bangle to that as x.
Okay, you have taken X from where? From bottom and like this?
No, no,
From
from the
here.
bangle, yeah. So
Bangle to this length.
yeah, till b.
Okay. You have
I
taken this
got
as
it
X.
v by x sine square alpha.
So D alpha by dt you are getting B by X sin square alpha. This is you are getting. Something is missing. Or maybe. Let's check.
Sir, I made a mistake. It will be v by x, not b.
Yeah, there's something. So again, it is like the reference choice, you have to make it that is the intelligent choice. And if somehow you can make the reference choice really well, you can write the constraint really well. And if you can write the constraint really well, you can solve it really well. But we know that the length of the blue line, the string, is a constant quantity. So the bangle will move in such a way that the component of velocity of the bangle in the direction of blue line and that of the block will be equal. Isn't it? You can prove by
Sir,
the
I
similar.
found velocity of ring.
Ah, that's nice. How much?
Sir, is it v sec theta?
Excellent. That's correct answer. That's the correct answer. So velocity of ring is v sec theta. Yes. So v ring is it is similar thing. You can just tilt your laptop by 90 degrees. The question is similar to the poll question, right? Both the same question. You simply tilt your laptop by right angle to the clockwise. The vertical pole become horizontal pole. and then move the block. Either you keep move like this or like you move like this. It's the same thing. So both are same question. Just you need to understand how to choose the right position. If you are solving by the constraint, the long method. If you are able to understand the quicker method, it's really powerful. And for that, the logic is same. Always may make a small movement, a movement which is very small. Write the answer in terms of dt. Check every moment and then try to correlate.
So can you show the previous slide for 2 seconds? Okay, sir.
The next part is finding the d theta by over d alpha by dt. Right. So that is again logical. You can find it by choosing the suitable variable. If you take this as L, because the dl by dt is given to you. You know what is dl by dt? Can you guess? At what rate the string is pulled down, the block will decide. Isn't it? At what rate the block is pulled down, you can easily find. See, do not wait for my answer. I'm not going to give you the answer. If it will take 1 hour, I'm here only, sitting idle, doing nothing. You have to eventually get the answer. There is no way to learn physics if you're not putting the effort in the right direction. Okay, any progress you guys are making? After V sec theta, what is d alpha dt part? Siddhant. So how many of you are not able to get the first answer, the V ring? Raise your hand. Those who have not got the answer till now. Shreya, Prasansa, Rugved, Garav. You all got the first part?
Yes, sir.
So those who got the first part, raise your hand. I want to see.
Sir, I got it as LV by X.
That's fine. You can always convert one into other. You got the first part is done. No? This part is done for everyone, right?
Yes.
Okay. And for d alpha by dt, so the moment this ring will move, let's say from here to here, I'm showing it bigger for convenience of writing. It is very small. So as it will move like this will become alpha plus d alpha, and this will become automatically d alpha. And then I can draw a perpendicular from here to here. And this length we can calculate as, let's call this is v dash. This is v dash dt, and this will be v dash dt cos alpha. So this will be v dash dt sin alpha, right?
Yes, sir.
And therefore I can say d alpha equals to arc length, which is v dash dt sin alpha upon L, right? This is what you're saying. And the velocity of the ring we already know, no? It is v sec theta. So v dash we can replace by v sec theta into dt into sin alpha. Oh, theta is not there. V sec alpha. Okay. Alpha. My bad. I think. No. Upon L. So what we are getting d alpha by dt is how much? You can see clearly. It is v
V tan alpha.
sin v 10 by L, right? Because you do not want L into the picture, we can write L in terms of B. So what is the relationship between alpha, L and B? Tell me, guys. Alpha, L and B. What is the relationship?
Sin theta.
Sin theta.
Sin
Sin
alpha.
alpha. So sin alpha is how much?
B by L.
B by L. So L is how much? B by sin alpha. Correct? So this we can write as V tan alpha upon B by sin. So the way you want the answer, you can write V by B, and tan alpha into sin alpha you can write as sin square alpha by cos alpha. You can just write like this. The way you want, that's totally okay. Even if you express like tan alpha into sin alpha, nothing is wrong about it. Are you getting the idea how to proceed? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Because the V dash dt cos alpha itself is V, right? V dash dt cos alpha is V. Because the blue line is shrinking from one side and growing from the other side. But the overall length is same. So what it is shrinking on the left is the growth in the right. So block is coming down because the left part of the string is shrinking. It is clear?
So
Yes,
is there any other method apart from the arc?
Yes, the same. Write the entire relation between x, b and L, x, b and alpha. Or you can say the best way is x, b and L. What is the relationship between x, b and L? Okay, what V represents? Who will tell? What is V represents? What rate of change is represented by V? Because this is given to us. the rate at which the string is growing on the right side, isn't it? As the block will come down, the string will grow, na?
Yes, sir.
And the increment of the string on the right is basically decrement of the length of the segment of string on the left. So if I break this line into two segments, one left of pulley, other right of pulley. So because the right of pulley is growing in value, the left of pulley must be shrinking in value because we cannot change the total length. So V is representing the rate at which the L is diminishing minus dl by dt. Do you realize this?
Yes.
So what is given to you is dl by dt. And therefore, what they are asking is what is the minus dx by dt. What am I looking for? So velocity of the ring means what? Minus dx by dt. Why minus? Why minus? Because as a result of motion of the ring, the x will shrink, isn't it? So the rate at which the x is shrinking is my velocity of the ring, and so the minus will come. Do you realize this? Do you realize this? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Questions I'm asking you.
Yes, sir.
So V ring is minus dx by dt. So because you know dl by dt, can you relate L with V in terms of some constant? L with x. So we can see clearly it's a Pythagoras. LXB. Correct? So what is the relationship between L, B, and X? Tell me, guys.
L square equals to B square plus X.
What is the next step? You differentiate. This is what you do generally. So you differentiate both sides with the respect to time. Yes or no?
Yes. Sir.
So have you differentiated that relation? Have you differentiated that relation? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
You have differentiated. Then you must have the answer. And if you have not differentiated, then differentiate now. What's the problem? So those who have not got the answer, if you have realized what I just said, can you do it now? If you have got it, it's really good. It's very cool. But if you have not got the answer, can you do it now? Hello, 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 hello. Can you do it now? Can you do it now? Can you do it now?
Yes, sir.
So do it now. Why are you waiting for? Do it.
So then that L, B, and X relation, B would be the constant.
Yeah, L is the variable, B is the constant. Correct. Very good. See, until you will not do it, it's difficult.
So I got dx by dt.
Very good. So dx by dt, how much you got? When you differentiated, so let me write down. See, the only way we can learn physics is by writing a lot and making a lot of mistakes. If you are scared of making mistake, probably physics is not for you. We do not want people who are scared of making mistake. We want someone who can make mistake and rectify in the next go. Again make mistake and again rectify, because we have many examples. If you know Thomas Alva Edison, so who made 2000 mistake to make a one correct bulb. So what he said, I know 2000 ways of not making a bulb. The same thing goes with us also. So when we try to do derive something, and we put a rigorous effort in doing so, the brain rewires, and you eventually develop into a higher intellect person, because your brain is now more powerful than others, because you're thinking a lot. And that is the only thing that we need to develop as we progress in the course. Do not worry about anything else. Just your brain should always think more, put pressure on the brain, and enjoy the new learning. That's it. So you got L square equals to B square plus X square, and when you differentiate, I can clearly say this is 2L dL by dt, 0 and 2x dx by dt. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So dl by dt is how much? Minus x by L dx by dt. And dl by dt is given to us. What is that? It is the velocity of what? The block with which it is falling, right? Understood?
Yes, sir.
That's it. So you can write here this as V, and from triangle, what is L by X, by the way? If you look carefully, from triangle, can you see the L by X? L and X relation. X alpha L. Cos alpha is X by L. So L by X is what? Basically sec alpha. So, and I think this was answer, right? And negative is, so the minus dx by dt, because X is diminishing, is, that's it. So we got the answer. The velocity of the ring is, so this you can solve. Now if you ask us how to solve the angle part, so we can write tan alpha is b by x. X is b cot alpha, and the same thing I can differentiate, or better I can do is like this. Rather I write sin alpha. Sin alpha is how much? B by L. That's better. So L equals to B cosec alpha. So dl by dt equals to B minus cosec alpha into cot alpha. Cot alpha into d alpha by dt. This is the formula, right? I hope you remember this formula. So d alpha by dt turns out to be how much? Minus dl by dt upon b cosec alpha into cot alpha. And the minus dl by dt we can write as v. Okay, we can always, I think this here we have to write as, okay, the L will decrease. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So L is decreasing only, and minus dl by dt is v. L x both will decrease. Yes. Okay. Minus v. All right. Okay, we can just take care of sign. So dl by dt we can write as v, because we are writing value, and v, and 1 by cos alpha is sin alpha, and cot alpha is cos by sin. You can see the same answer. The starting point And there is no fixed way of solving this. Again, let me tell you what you can possibly do. You can choose any variable, but you should know the answer of the rate of change of that variable. In all situation, we must have only one variable to differentiate and one to relate to. So if you have three variables, then there is a problem. If one is variable, other is dependent variable, that's okay. So the idea is how to correlate things like this. Okay, guys, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So some typical rate of change in physics, typical things that you come across. So in the motion chapter, I have shown you. So one thing which is very common is called circular motion. So if I choose some sort of reference, because to right angle we need some reference. So let's say this is the line which is passing through the center of the circle, and the radius of circle is, let's say, r. A particle is moving on a track which is circular track of constant radius, and the speed is constant. So can we say velocity is constant? If the speed is constant, can we say velocity is constant? Yes or no? Is velocity constant, guys, here? Is velocity constant here? Is velocity constant here? Yes or no? Hello, guys. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yes. I'm asking, if the speed is constant, does it mean the velocity is also constant?
No, sir.
Why no?
Because the direction is changed.
Very good. So you know everything. Now the question is, at any instant, let's say you are at some random location at some instant t. So at t you are here, but after time dt you will be somewhere here, and because the interval is really small, then this length, carefully, this length, can we talk as a straight line? Can we call this as a straight line
Yes.
without the loss of generality? So any curved surface may behave as a straight line, and because the speed is known to you, what is this length? The length will be how much? The distance traveled in the time dt by the particle is how much? Tell me, guys. ds equals to what we can write in terms of
VDT.
v. Are you guys all okay with this? That we can write vdt? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And therefore the theta will be how much? What is the angle? Arc length upon radius, isn't it? So what is the arc length?
VDT
VDT.
into
Upon yes,
R.
go r. So what is d theta by dt here? V by r, yes or no?
yes, sir.
Now in physics, by definition, we have a given name to this quantity because we are writing again and again. So why not we can, you know, assign a symbol to it, which is convenient to write. And what do we call this? If someone knows by any chance, the rate of change of angular displacement is called angular velocity. So this is a name given to it, and it is just a matter of convenience. Just like dx by dt we call velocity, because that is the convenience. I mean, I could have written just like this and left it, but we always want to in physics assign something to the rate of change of some quantity. And what is the symbol for it? Anybody knows?
Sir, is it omega?
Yeah, it is omega. So omega we write as V by R. So V equals to. So now you know why this formula is in the first place. Now you can realize why we write V equals to omega R. Okay. Imagine a particle is moving on a straight line, and the distance of the particle from a certain origin is d. D is the perpendicular line or perpendicular separation between the observer, we call O as observer, and the line of motion. So these are technical terms. Don't worry much about it, or don't think much about it. This is called line of motion. Anyway, that is not the concern. The question is, if this particle is moving forward with speed v, if the gap is d, if the angle is theta, can you tell me what is d theta by dt? It's again pretty much simple. We have done many times. Can you do it now again? What is d theta by dt representing here? Done, guys? So V is given to you and D is given to you. So how to break the velocity? One along the this line. Always you can call this line if you want. You can call this line as L. So this V this is how much angle? 90 minus theta. This is the same. So what is the component of velocity in this direction? What is the component, guys? I hope you remember the component from vector. What is the component of V in this direction? Anyone can tell me? No. What is this component? Hello, 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 1, 2, 3. What is the component, guys? Tell me. If this is V, what is this one?
V sine theta.
Excellent. And if that is V sin theta, so what is this one?
V cos theta.
Is it so difficult to realize? Now tell me which component can change the angle, the sine or the cos? Imagine yourself moving along V sine and V cos, and you tell me what you believe, which one can change the theta? Which component can change the theta?
V cos.
Exactly. Everyone, are you able to agree with this fact that V cos theta will only change? Do you agree? Yes or no?
Yes.
Everyone? So in time dt, how much will travel in this direction? In time dt, how much will travel?
V cos theta.
Into dt, right?
V cos theta dt.
So d theta we can attach. Tell me how much? Arc length. What is arc length? Tell me. Arc length, which is, come on guys, tell me what is arc length here? Siddhant,
V
tell
cos
me.
theta dt.
V cos theta dt. And what is the radius? Let's call L.
L.
So you got it. Now what is d theta by dt? V cos theta by L. What is the L relationship in terms of d? Why? Because L is not given, d is given.
Cos theta.
So L cos theta is d. Am I right? So L we can write as d by cos theta. Tell me guys if you're getting it. So I can, by definition, I can rewrite as omega, and the L I can write as d by cos theta. You can see omega turns out to how much? V cos square theta by d. Is this clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Very good. I hope this is clear for everyone.
Yes, sir.
Seems like someone is confused. Not very confident. See, don't worry. I mean, I can explain things. I know these are not very easy. What you're learning is the entire mechanics actually. This is called mechanics, in which we write the relationship of motion. Physics is basically having two parts in mechanics. We have kinematics and we have kinetics. So kinematics is what we are doing right now. Kinetics is, which is also called dynamics sometimes, where we write the force law, I mean force equation, net force equals to mass into acceleration. So when you write the Newton's laws of motion, that is called kinetics. And what we are doing right now is called kinematics, in which we write the motion and the dependencies and the relationship between them. So to understand physics and especially the mechanics, we need to understand the what kind of variable we face in this entire journey of mechanics, how we relate things. Okay. And basically the V and all are some convenience that we have proposed so that the writing is easier. So when I say V, it is a rate of change of something. So the fundamentally everything is displacement or some length. And from there only we generate the other ideas. Okay. All right. So omega is V cos theta by D. If you all have understood this part, raise your hand. I'll go to the next answer. Quickly raise your hand. Okay, so Prasansa is not understood. Okay, understood. Shreya has not understood. Okay, all. Okay, are you all understanding because I'm putting a lot of pressure on you? Or you're really understanding it? Tell me. Without any
Really?
hesitation. Am I putting a lot of pressure on you guys? Are you feeling tortured?
No, sir.
Okay. If you're feeling tortured, welcome to physics by CK. So let's go back to the very old and generic problem of rate. We have solved this question before, but one part we didn't do there. Again, the slipping rod or moving rod problem. So moving rod. So what is given to us that a rod of finite length, of course, a rod will have finite length. A rod of finite length is being pulled at the bottommost by some person, and the guy is pulling with a fixed velocity v naught. Okay, at an instant the angle is theta. So what is given to you? Theta and L. So at an instant, angle made by rod with horizontal is theta. Find d theta by dt at this instant. Okay, do it, everyone. How to choose a variable is your headache. You think about it, how you're going to choose it, and all right. So I'll come back in 2 minutes. Anyone who got the answer? What a V naught is representing? Which rate of change is represented by V naught?
dx by dt.
Very good. So for the origin, you can call this as X. And because the other part, you can call it Y as of now. We know how to write things. Y is not required because we know the dx by dt given dx by dt is V naught. Given this, we can find d theta dt. So draw two rods. Better you can correlate the theta with x and L because L is constant. So what is the relationship between theta, x and L?
Cos theta
Cos
equals
theta.
x by L.
Very good. So you know what to do next, right? If you know the relation, then you know everything actually. So try it out. Again, let me make it very clear. What you're learning is the toughest part of mechanics. Toughest part. And if you can master this part, the rest is just numbers. And you're learning up to the Olympiad level. These things are actually a method that one should know if they want to qualify Olympiad. Playing with elementary, playing with d, theta, dx, dy, writing elementary, understanding elementary. If you can play with elementary, you can play with physics.
Done, sir.
Very good. So what is the answer?
Minus V naught cosec theta by L.
Minus V naught cosec theta by L. Like this. Which is the right answer? Minus V naught by like this.
Yes, sir.
And
Both
minus is representing that as the rod will move forward, theta will decrease, correct? Because as
Yes,
the
sir.
rod will slip like this, theta will decrease. No? So this is the rate at which the rod is turning. This is called omega of the rod. What is the angular velocity of the rod? The answer is V naught by L cm. And this you will study in the chapter of rotational dynamics, the last topic of mechanics. Not last in terms of that is the end of mechanics. After that, what we do is application. The entire theory of physics is up to rotational dynamics. After that, there is no theory. Rather, we have only application. So the entire half of 11th and the full of 12th is your application. What you study in the first 7 chapter of physics. That's it. And therefore, the time divided for the physics preparation is 11th. 70% of time we are going to devote for 11th. The entire 12th we can finish in 30% time. So generally, the entire 12th portion just takes 5 to 6 months max. The rest is taken by 11th. So do not worry about 12th. You are anyway going to get very good marks in board examination and all. But that is the easy part. So the 12th part or the boards are not difficult. So the most difficult part is only 11th and till mechanics. After mechanics also, this is not difficult. So that is a clear-cut boundary. Like which part of the physics you must put your maximum effort. which part of physics you're going to enjoy your life, because it is going to be really easy. So right now is the most difficult or challenging part of your life, the journey of the preparation. If you can just keep patience for next 5 months or 6 months, your physics is over. In terms of difficulty, you will never feel difficulty again. But for that, you have to do a lot of practice. The derivation which we are doing here, you have to do it a lot. Anybody else who is getting the answer d theta by dt?
Yes, sir, done.
Yeah, you are done. Anybody else? Guys, tell me. Rugved, you got the answer?
So can you show what happens after cos theta equals to x by r?
Differentiating both sides with respect to time. Simple. You want a term like d theta by dt and you know the relation. So can you differentiate both sides? Can you? Can you? Can you? Can
Yes.
you? Do it. Yeah, anybody else having doubt? Ask. You can only learn by doing it. There is no magic. So they in most of the coaching, the maximum minimum entire differentiation definition 2 to 3 lectures only maximum. Many will watch with me if they are studying in a coaching. Isn't it? Rugved and Prashansa can tell me. How many lectures you study maths in general in coaching?
Very few, sir.
So if you have got the opportunity, why don't you utilize it? No one is bothered to teach you maths. They want to teach you physics, which is impossible. That is the only drawback why most of us, face difficulty in physics. We think that physics is different, maths is different. And we also believe that without knowing much of maths, we can master physics. But unfortunately, if you want to master physics, maths is the way to go. So take maths seriously and also start reading whenever time permits mathematics on your own. Yes, that will help you in developing the intuition over the years, months, and you will become powerful. So now you're getting the answer. Are you able to differentiate? Are you able to differentiate? Yes or no? Rugved, I think you can differentiate.
Yes.
Prashanta, you are able to differentiate? No. Yes.
So I differentiated cos theta, but after that the RHS x by L, how do we do it?
What is your equation? The first EML relation which you got. What relation you got? Tell me.
So I got V naught as y minus y by x dy
See,
by
why you
dt.
are taking y again? See, y and x both are variables, so I must keep the variable in check. Na? I ask you, what is the relationship between x, theta, and L? What is the relationship
Cos
between?
theta equals to x by L.
Did you write cos theta equals to x by L?
Yes, sir.
So what is x?
L cos theta.
Is L constant or variable?
L is constant.
So can you differentiate both sides with time?
Yes.
What will be the answer? Dx by dt equals to L outside d by dt of cos theta. You can apply the chain rule. What we can write?
So dx by dt equals to L minus sine theta
Into.
into d theta by dt.
So you got it, no? So you were looking for d theta by dt, and you got the answer. How much you got the answer? So what is minus Or simply what is d theta by dt? Tell me. D theta by dt is how much?
V naught by minus L sine theta.
So that is the answer, no? You can see that is the answer.
Yes, sir, got it.
We got it. Not at all difficult, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's do something new, something fresh. Too much of dx by dt. So when you celebrate your birthday, I hope you use the inflated balloons, right? Or you don't use balloons, huh? Strange. So you have balloon. Assuming the balloon as perfectly spherical object, so to inflate the balloon, what you do? To inflate the balloon, inflate means to fill the air is called inflation, and to remove air is called deflation. So to inflate the balloon, what you do? You blow the air inside the balloon. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So imagine your lungs are having the constant pumping power. You can exhale certain amount of air per second. And assuming that the air is not getting compressed anywhere, so we are continuously filling the balloon. Okay. And we are believing that the air is not getting compressed, it is growing. So as you put more and more air into it, the radius of the balloon will increase or decrease.
Increase.
Increase.
And if the radius will increase, the volume will also increase. Yes or no? So what is the relationship of volume versus radius? V equals to how much? Volume of a sphere? Come on. Come on. What is the volume of a
4 by
sphere?
3 pi r cube.
Very good. What is the surface area of a sphere?
Four pi r square.
4 pi r square.
Very good. Surface area of a sphere. 4 pi r square. So as the area will change, as the radius will change, area will change, or vice versa. Okay. So what is the relationship between volume and area? Can you tell me the relation between volume and area? If V is 4 by 3 pi r cube and A is 4 pi r square, can we replace one by the other?
V equals R by 3 times of area.
No, I don't want the R. I want to answer in terms of V and A. V in terms of A. R should not be there. How to remove R? There are many ways to do it. You can see what is the ratio of V by A. It is R by 3, isn't it? So basically, R we can write as 3V by A. And now because I want the relationship between V and A, the current V equals to 4 by 3 pi R cube, which is 3V by A, whole cube. So it is 4 pi by 3, and it is 3 cube v cube by a cube. The v will vanish. So what you get is v square equals to 9436, 1 by 36 pi into a cube. So what is v coming? Under root of 36 pi. Am I right? Yeah. Into a power 3 by 2. So volume is how much? 1 by 6 root pi a power. So as the balloon will be inflated, the volume will change because you are putting something into it, and so the radius. So what is the dv by dt? How we can write dv by dt? Can we differentiate this both sides with time? Differentiating both sides with time. What will you get? Tell me. dv by dt is how much? So LHS too we have done. So what about the RHS? 4 by 3 pi is constant. So what is the d by dt of r cube, guys? Tell me. How to write this further? Who will tell? Anybody
dr
can tell?
square into dr by dt.
That is excellent answer. 3 gets cancelled. So what we are getting? 4 pi r square dr by dt. Understood? So what you can understand that as you pump the air, the radius will change. But there is something interesting. What is interesting? So when you go to any what we can call the tire wala, where you get your car tires inflated, it takes a pipe which is at very high pressure and connects with the valve, and it fills the tire in no time. Okay. If it is highly deflated, then what happens? In the very beginning, the growth of the size will be very fast. But once it is completely filled, do you see further growth? No. Because the tires are not flexible, so they don't grow further. So if you look carefully, the dr by dt is how much? dv by dt upon so in a very large, let's say dv by dt is constant. So let dv by dt is a constant, and generally we represent by symbol q. So the dr by dt, the rate at which the radius will grow is q by. So as r will grow, the dr by dt will decrease, yes or no? So keeping the rate of inflation is constant. If I keep the pumping part constant, the amount of air I'm putting inside is constant. What you can realize that the radius will not grow as fast as it will grow in the beginning, rather it will decay like this. Now this is the graph of 1 by r square. So a very large balloon will not show you further extension even though you fill lot of air. And you must have explained that balloon will grow very fast in the beginning, but after some time, what do you see? A slight growth, right? You are not able to see the changes also, isn't it? Until it blasts. So a bigger size balloon will not show you the radius change very effectively. You will see small changes. Now my question was, can we relate the volume dV by dt with area? So for that, we need to differentiate that relation which in which we are, which in which we know the V and A relation. So what you're supposed to do is, now I will not go to the back page. Derive the relation of V and A if you have forgotten, and then differentiate and tell me the answer. Everyone, please go ahead. Okay, got the answer, guys? Siddhant, what happened? What is the V and A relation first of all? V equals to, I think this is the basic manipulation one should get. We know that V and A can be expressed in terms of R, and because R is the common variable, we should get the relation of V and A, right? Because R is the common variable, we can cancel out by squaring the V and cubing the A. You can directly get the answer. If you square, what you get is 4 pi R cube whole square and 3 3 and 9, and then 4 pi R square whole cube. So what we get here? R will get cancelled out, 4 pi and 4 pi. So 1 by 36 pi, and therefore V is A cube by 36 pi. This implies V equals to A power 3 by 2, 6 root pi. So V equals to, and now you can differentiate, right? Okay. Now I'll give you a trick to differentiate. Now questions like this are generally difficult for many of us, and we get confused how to differentiate and all. So there's a method called when you get some random weird power, the best way to differentiate is take log both sides. So ln v equals to constant. I can just write this as constant, something c, and you can just write c into and plus ln. So we know that in case of log, if you have two numbers multiplied together, the log will make it addition, right? And now you know differentiating both sides with time. Constant will be 0. And ln v we can attach. So first you connect v ln v dv by dt, and the power in a log will get multiplied, so that's you will get rid of power, and then you can add as d by da of ln a into da by dt. That's simple. And d by dv of ln v is 1 by v dv by dt, and similarly 1 by a da by dt. So what you get is that dv by dt relation is 3v by 2a into da by dt. So as the area will change, v will also change, and this is the relation. And you can substitute the value whatever they ask in the question to get the answer. Is this clear, guys? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I know that you all have to practice a lot. So your homework is just repeat all questions which I discussed today at least 3 to 4 times, and I will check everyone's solution on my WhatsApp. So you all have to send me every question minimum solved 3 times. Okay. 3 times every
With the
question.
different methods.
Yeah, different methods. So method 1, method 2, method 3, okay, whatever you know. So you all have to send me by how many days you want? 1 day or 2 days sufficient? By Monday, I can expect.
Yes.
We have weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and this is the mandatory homework. If you fail to do so, your parent will get a message regarding the incompletion of the homework. Okay. The other punishments are also there, like you have to stay with me for entire 4 to 5 hours till you get it right, till you solve the question. Okay, guys, you have some other lecture, hopefully at 9 o'clock. Bye and take care. We'll again solve the same chapter next class, but only half part. Like we'll finish it, and I'll go to a next chapter called integration very soon. So one more lecture for differentiation, then I will stop it, and I'll go for integration. Bye and take care, guys.
So,
Yes.
so can you please explain the arc method again?
Arc method. Okay. Those who want to leave can leave. Not an issue. I'll explain the arc method.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
Imagine any line. This is the line, and draw another line which is slightly tilted, like this. It is tilted. So what you can do is you can join tail to tail. You can see one line is bigger than other line. Okay. Now this angle we call angle between the lines, d theta. The rule is from the smaller line draw a perpendicular. And because angle is really small, so this length is same as this length, and this is called the extra length. Okay. Now the d theta will work only for the smaller part, like this. So you can think as a, it is some circle. So it looks like a circle, isn't it? So this part is, which I have shown as a straight line. Now this part is like a part of a circle, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So if somehow I happen to know this value, let's call ds, I can get d theta. So the radius becomes the separation, this L, right? L
Yes.
becomes the radius. So we can add angle equals to arc length upon L. And the question which you saw that we have solved, the ds was something like v cos theta dt or v sin dt, something like that, right?
Yes, sir.
And therefore, we got d theta by dt as something like this. I'm not saying exactly, but something like this we have done. Okay. So
Yes,
this is the
sir.
arc method. Arc method is what simply you make small changes, and then you treat that small change as the arc of some big circle, whose radius is nothing but the length of the separation of the 2 points. So this is the arc method, and it is really powerful method to solve question effectively. Okay. And yeah.
Okay, sir.
Any other
Thank
doubt?
you. No, sir.
But practice. Okay. If you practice, don't worry. These are difficult things. I'm not denying the fact that this is very easy. No. Even if you today, if you have understood 50%, that is a big achievement for you. So make sure that you try to understand as much as possible. If you can achieve 80%, 90% or full, that is going to be your achievement. And you will understand the benefit of all this. What we are doing is something which even I haven't done before, because earlier I used to believe that, okay, student will do the practice at home. They will understand mathematics. But I realized that over the time that, okay, no one is able to understand mathematics much. So from this year, I decided to teach more of mathematics than only teaching physics, because then only it is possible for you to also comprehend the physics really well. So it will take more time, of course, but you will become good with subjects. So I can teach at faster speed later on, because you are really good with math, so you will not feel anything difficult. So the way we are trying to approach the subject is slightly different from the convention. The only suggestion is stick with me. Do not worry much. You are becoming really good with physics without knowing that you are doing physics. So these are not mathematics, these are actually physics only. And these are various chapters. You have seen laws of motion, you have seen circular motion, you have seen rotational dynamics. So you have seen a lot of things, not only one thing. Understood? So this arc method is something very powerful. So try to do by various methods: the constant relation method, arc method, and Feel for yourself. Once you have felt it, then leave. If you have not felt, continue. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Any doubt?
No, sir.
And how is happening in your classroom? Like you switch from the Narayan to pace, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So are you getting some time to study for yourself?
Yeah, more than Narayana, definitely.
But are you studying? Are you using the time?
Yeah, yeah. But from next week, they will also change into 6 days per week. But then I have time because Narayana used to end at like 5 p.m., but this ends at 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
Yeah.
So, you have to kind of leave everything, no television, no mobile phone. For
Yes,
next
sir.
2-3 months, I want Prasansa to be the next big shot in physics. You have the potential. I have firm belief in you. You can do it actually. And you can
Okay.
do it really good. I mean, you don't know about yourself, but I can tell you, you can get all India rank within 500. That is your potential. Just you need to believe in yourself. Okay.
So what about the exams and the coaching classes?
No,
Because
no. See, I will tell you something. Let's say in your coaching class, which subject is going on right now in physics?
they finished kinematics 1 and 2, and
Okay,
the
very good.
exam is this
Okay.
weekend.
So I'll share you a link in which my pre-recorded lectures are there. All lectures I have already taught in some batch, right?
Yeah.
So for examination preparation, what you can do is, as the topic is going in the coaching, you will parallelly watch there. Okay.
Okay.
In that way, you will be able to finish both the chapters for your coaching. And when I will teach you for the second time, you will understand even better.
Yeah.
And don't try to finish. Try to just go with the flow. Let's say if it is kinematics 1 and 2, and if you are able to finish only one, that is good enough. Just check that if you have attempted 5 questions, are 5 correct or not. So don't see the total marks. See your marks in the question which you attempted. If all are correct, you are really going good. That's it.
So if I like watch all the lectures, is that enough, or do I need to practice this
Any.
also and
No,
that?
if you watch, then see. If you watch and if you don't write a single word, you will get nothing. You have to write also.
No, writing part is fine, but practicing
That
for
no,
the
that is more than sufficient. All questions will come from my notes only.
okay.
80%. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So that is more than sufficient. It is similar to what I am teaching right now. Like you're learning so much maths, similarly you will learn so much kinematics there also. And almost every question I'll solve there. Every tough question.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So your base test will have questions pertaining to my lectures only.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, no need to worry. So I'll share the link right now. You can go there, you can watch it and make the full use of it. And kinematics is huge chapter. It's like 14 to 16 lectures. So don't try to finish it. Try to understand one lecture at once. And if you have really understood, then go for the next lecture. And make a progress slowly. Like don't get in haste. First few chapter, if you are behind all the student, be it. Let be it. I do not want you to finish chapter. I want you to understand chapter. After few chapter, you will be ahead of everyone. Why? Because they will struggle with the mathematics, but you will not. Okay. So that is a way to move. It's like a long-term game. It is not a short term that we should go for T20, hit all ball and become famous. No. Take your time, take your learning speed and respect your pace of learning and be happy about it. Make
Yes.
small progress, but make progress. That is important. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Bye and
Thank
take care.
you,
And
sir.
in case of any doubt, just let me know. Don't worry and stop using lot of distraction like phone and television and all. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.